everyone, good evening, welcome to the channel. My name's Daniel and I'm at running track. So it's Tuesday, yesterday, so Monday night I did half an hour of running, so of course I'm back in the game now. I need to get to a run session, so there's a group not too far from me. It's in Newark, it's called the Newark Endurance Group. It is essentially supposed to be the sort of top runners from the local clubs, or those that are towards the, I don't know, the quicker runners that want to sort of get together and push each other. They all sort of come to this group on a Tuesday night on the track and have a good track session together. So it's people from all sorts of different clubs. God knows how I've got invited. Well, I didn't really get invited. Somebody was talking about it in earshot of me and I invited myself a while ago, so that's how I ended up here. I'm back, so I've paid my 50 quid for the next 6 months to use the track. I've got to make it count. So tonight's session is 700 metre efforts times a few, I think. So here we go. It's a bit of an alien thing to me running on a track, but this is what I need to do. I need to be out of my comfort zone if I'm going to make any major improvements. So see you later. Done and dusted. So I did 5 times 700 metres effort, 200 metre jog recovery, 200 metre effort, 100 metre jog recovery. That times 5 basically. So including warm up and warm down, I've done 7.5 miles in 53 minutes, so just over 7 minute miling. So quite happy with that considering it was jog recoveries. Good session, started off too hard, faded in the middle, faded hard at the end, but there you go. Laters. Good afternoon, Wednesday lunchtime, just done 5.7 miles in about 44 minutes, so decent run. Feel a bit tired from last night, my foot's hurting a little bit, so I need to get ice on that and get doing the mobility work again. I think I slacked off the last few days and maybe that's just showing. But no, good run, glad to sort of stitch 3 runs together, 3 runs in 3 days. Well chuffed. Laters. What's up? Wednesday evening, first double day for a while. I've only done 45 minutes in zone 2 on the bike, but it's better than nothing. So legs felt okay, my heart rate was a bit high. Foot niggle is not any worse, but it's still just sort of there. So I don't know what to do, whether to back off again or just keep training. I'm gonna get on the ice in a minute, take some ibuprofen, see how it goes tomorrow daytime, and then maybe do a ride tomorrow night. So I plan to do a bike session tomorrow night, like a proper training session, my first one for about 4 or 5 weeks. So yeah, see how it goes. But yeah, good to be back aboard on the watt bike. Going to be spending a lot of time here over the winter. Good evening, Thursday evening. It's about 8:30. I've left this far too late, but I'm on the watt bike. I'm doing a session. I've become aware that I've sounded right whiny over the last few days. Oh, my foot hurts. I've got a cold. I'm tired. Let's get rid of all that. Let's get started with some proper training. So tonight's session, classic 5 times 5 minutes. I'm not doing it at VO2 max. I'm just going to do it at threshold. So it should still be a decent workout because I'm probably a bit less fit than my threshold on paper is. So it should be a good little workout. I'm also testing erg mode on the watt bike because over the next few weeks, when I start training on the Ride Harder plan, it'll be coming through in a format that I can just use it on Zwift. So link it up to the watt bike, use the technology I've got and actually just click play and go. So I'm testing it on this session tonight before I actually commit to it in a proper session. So I'll see how it goes, but in the warm up at the minute, I've just sort of built it so that it gets gradually more, gradually harder as the effort goes through, warming up wise, and it's picking it up fine. No sort of big lags or anything, so all good. See you on the other side. Obviously, got the Lionel Sanders sweatband on as well for full send mode, so see how it goes. So in the spirit of keeping it real, I did 3 5-minute efforts. Man, I felt absolutely, well, in bits on that last one. I felt like it was a real hard effort to finish, and it shouldn't have been like that. It should have just been a reasonably hard effort, but not flogging myself. So I thought that was the right time to pull the pin. So 3 5 minutes, it was 363, 363, 364 watts. What do I think to erg mode on the watt bike? It's better at lower power. When you're doing an effort and you're struggling to do the effort, if you back off a little bit, it gets a bit grindy, and you have to have that little dig to push over, to sort of get on top of the gear before it eases off again. So it was okay because I wasn't absolutely on the edge, but I think if I was doing like an FTP test or like a 1 minute max effort or something, and I'd put erg mode on, if I wasn't on top of it and doing the power I planned to, I think I'd end up just grinding, and it does then release, but you just lose momentum. So it's okay. I don't think I'll be using it for hard efforts, but definitely sort of like anything up to sort of like zone 3 tempo sort of power, I think it should be okay. Hello, Friday night. My life just gets wilder and wilder. An hour zone 2 on the watt bike, so normalised power of 227 watts and an average heart rate of 122 beats a minute, so fairly standard zone 2. I think whilst I think I'm struggling more top end power, my zone 2 work seems to be very, very similar to what it was sort of 3 or 4 months ago when I was probably at my peak bike fitness. So I think it shows that underlying fitness still remains there. Even though you might not be able to hit the top big numbers, you're still sort of relatively fit. Does that make any sense when I was talking rubbish? Whatever, either way, it's good for morale. Laters. Good morning, happy Saturday. Good morning from Gedling Country Park. Good morning, Liz. Oh, Liz, you okay?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Liz is a bit concerned. We've never done this park run before. People are warming up on the hill over there, you can see. Does that concern you at all, Liz?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just out for a steady run together this morning, aren't we? Nothing, no records were broken.
Okay. No, just enjoying it.
Exactly. Alright, so let's get this started since it's about 3 minutes till start. Let's go. So today was supposed to be a steady run, but there's a bit of a sprint finish. I'm not going to talk about the results because it doesn't matter. It's just a steady run, isn't it, Liz?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite hilly.
That steady, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. So it's quite hilly. The average like 8.5 minute miling. Running with Liz used to be easy, and now it's not. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But no, we got towards the finish. There's a lady just behind us. She came past me, and I knew Liz would take the bait. And basically, them two had a sprint finish to the finish line. So Liz unfortunately just missed out, but it's great to see. I was certainly laughing my head off behind him watching him sprint to the finish line. And I acted like I didn't want to take part, but if I did take part, they would have both probably beat me. So, you know. Anyway, time for a cafe breakfast now. So, laters. Good afternoon, Saturday afternoon. So after park run I had beans on toast and a slice of cake, that was great. I've had a nap and now Saturday afternoon I'm at Mark Eaton Park in Derby for a cross country. I am well out of my comfort zone because there's a lot of actual runners here that can run quite well. So my race is at 2:20, it's 6 miles, it's 3 laps of, it's not very hilly but it's a bit undulating. There's not really much mud, but I've gone for the off-road shoes which still have mud on from February this year when I last did a cross country, so a bit stinky, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to give it a good hit out, to be honest, because I knew it sort of ran steady today. I'm going to try and not start too hard and blow up, but I'm going to try and wring everything out. So I'll see how it goes, see you on the other side. Also, I last wore this vest 10 years ago. Can you tell I'm breathing in a bit? It's been a long time since I've been in a medium men's piece of clothing, but I'll see how it goes, try and keep myself contained. Cross country done and dusted. It wasn't too hilly, there's only a couple of hills on each lap and only a couple of patches of mud, so it wasn't like a proper out and out cross country, but tomorrow will be. So this one was 5.75 miles. I did it in just over 38 minutes, so 6 minute 40 mile in average. I paced it pretty evenly, managed to dig in deep for the last half a mile or so as well and pass a club mate who I'd been trying to hang on to for the last lap, so dead happy with how today went. Feeling good, just need to get recovered now and got another cross country tomorrow, so Project Be a Runner is a go. Laters. Oh, I was 120 seconds, so it's good to have my ass handed to me by runners. Long may it continue. Good morning, happy Sunday. Welcome to Shipley Park in Derbyshire. Another cross country, here we go. It's about 4.5 miles. It's in a different league to what the cross country was yesterday. I don't mean it's a different level, I just mean it's a different league. So it's actually a bit of a lower standard than yesterday's race. So I'm going to try and take the GoPro around me on the run. Now it's going to be, as you probably hear from the squelching, it's absolutely wet through. It's going to be hilly, muddy, rutty. So I'm going to try and capture what footage I can. I'm aware that normally my running GoPro footage is like that, so I'll try and stabilise it where possible, but hopefully get a sort of a little insight into the mud. Not really got any expectations. My foot is absolutely killing, which is a bit stupid to run on it today, but I don't really think I'm going to do too much more damage just doing 4 or 5 miles. And I want to get training, so I'm going to re-evaluate that after today's run, but for now, freezing today, just going to get it done, so see you later. Okay, so the race seems a little bigger than I first expected. Apparently there's a couple of gates near the start, so you've got to press on so you're not queuing to get through gates, so I'm going to start reasonably hard and hang on. This is proper cross country. Awesome. Whew. Done and dusted. 5 miles, 36 minutes, just over 7-minute miling. That was proper cross country. Hopefully I've already played some footage of the run, but yeah, that was bloody good fun. The state of me. Can't wait to get home and rub these all over Liz. So yeah, that's it for this week then. I'm just going to rest up, try and sort something out of my foot. I'm not going to go on about it, but it is hurting, so I need to get that looked at. But yeah, awesome run. It's really good to come out and do a race where you're not looking at your watch all the time and average pacing, all that sort of stuff, just to come out and have a real blast. Work hard for sure, but actually just enjoy it. So yeah, I'm going to get pressure washed down now. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video.